Alright, class 11, we are going to begin with chapter 3, and the chapter 3 is basic problems of an economy. As the title suggests, basic problems of an economy, it means every economy is facing not only any single problem but a lot problems every economy is facing. We can define economic problem as that economic problem is the problem regarding allocation of limited resources for the production of alternative goods and services. All right. In other words, we can say that economic problem is the problem of choice. We have already studied all this thing. That is why we are choosing, why we have the problem of choice, because the resources that we are using to produce goods and services, they are relatively scarce. What do you mean by relatively scarce? They are less as compared to the demand for goods and services that are produced with the help of these resources. So we can say that scarcity is a key fact of economic life. There's a law. The law of scarcity states that goods are scarce because there are not enough resources to produce all the goods that people want to consume. Right? Now, scarcity implies that people must make a choice. That's what we have just talked about. That scarcity means that people has to make a choice. That is, what do you mean by choice? That to give up one thing to get another thing, because we cannot have all that we wanted to. So we have to make a choice that which one commodity is more important than the other one. So we'll be picking up the one and giving up the other for that commodity that you have picked up. So scarcity and choice, they go together, because limited resources force every individual and the society as well to choose. For example, students have to choose between buying a hamburger or a cold drink with a given amount of pocket money. The people of a country, this was a smaller perspective, the people of a country must choose between spending more on healthcare or more on other things. Similarly, a government has also to choose with a given amount of resources, with using these resources more in the production of military goods or in providing education to the people in the country, right? So scarcity is a fact of life for individuals, for society, for family, and for the entire government also. So we can sum up like that economic problem is the problem of relative scarcity and the problem of choice that is arising therefrom. In fact, some economists like Robbins and Samuelson, you have already studied the definition part, have defined economics in terms of scarcity and choice. Now, the question is why this economic problem arises, right? So, there are three basic reasons why economic problem arise. The first reason for this is unlimited wants. We have already known that the first fundamental fact of life is that human wants are unlimited and tend to multiply over time. These wants, they differ in their urgency, right? Just some wants are more urgent while others are less pressing. So this is first reason why the economic problem arises. The second reason is limited resources. Now, resources available to satisfy human wants are limited. We know that fact. The resources of a society consist of land, labor, capital, equipments, and entrepreneurship. Now, these are all factors of production. These productive resources, they are called factors of production, and they are themselves in limited supply, or we can say they are scarce in relation to the demand. Right, again and again to emphasize. For example, labor is limited by the size of population. Now, what do you mean by that? You mean to say that the entire population cannot work according to the labor is required. Some labor are required unskilled, some are semi-skilled, some are highly skilled. So there are categories of labor, but all the labors, they do not qualify that category, right? So the labor is limited by the size of population. Population is very large for us. Then land is limited by the area of country. The land that is available to us for use for production is limited by the size of the country, and capital and technology are limited by the scarcity of various inputs required for their production or because of limited knowledge, right? So even though we have factors of production, but relatively they are scarce. And then third basic reason for the economic problem is resources have alternative uses. What do you mean by that? That all the resources, they are, even though they are mobile, but since they are scarce, they are in limited supply availability, we can use them either here or use them either there. That is what we are saying, that if we are picking one commodity for our consumption, we have to give up the amount of the other commodity. Similarly, resources are also have to be used alternatively. If we are going to produce something, then we have to leave some other thing, right? Now, resources can be put to alternative uses. For example, a piece of land can be used to produce wheat, vegetables, many other things, right? It is just like the evening time of a student, which can be either used to play or to study. This implies that with the limited resources and their alternative uses, the economy may decide to produce more amount of some commodities and less of the other. So these are the three basic problems of the economy, right? These are the three reasons for the economic problems, right? Now we have certain basic central problems of an economy. Now these problems, they are categorized into in the form of few questions. The first question is what to produce and how much to produce, right? Now the answer to this question is what to produce is the first central problem that every economy has to face, right? What has to be produced for the country? This question involves two interrelated issues. First, what commodities shall be produced and in what quantity? These are the two interrelated issues. What has to be produced and how much that commodity has to be produced. The fact that resources are scarce means that society cannot produce the goods and services it wants, the amount it cannot produce, right? The society has to make a choice between consumer goods like food, clothes, furniture, cars, etc., and capital goods like machines, plants, factory, building, tools, etc. So there is a choice, right? Whether the economy has to produce the consumer goods or the capital goods. What commodities are produced in an economy ultimately depends upon the pattern of demand. What is the demand of the consumer and the availability of, obviously, resources, right? Then second question is, the second basic problem of an economy is how much to produce, right? In the first part we talked about what to produce, then second part how much to produce. Now this is the second problem of an economy, which with an economy has to face in how are goods and services produced. Now this is the problem of choice of methods or technique of production. All right. Broadly, there are two types of techniques. One is labor intensive and the second is capital intensive. A labor intensive techniques uses more of labor and less of capital to produce a given quantity of output, whereas a capital intensive technique uses more of capital and less of labor to produce a given quantity of output. Say for example, cotton cloth can be produced by either hand looms or power looms. This is both the techniques are given. Capital intensive also technique also is, hand looms are labor intensive techniques or power looms are capital intensive techniques, right? Since resources are available in limited quantity, the society cannot afford to squander away its resources, waste away its resources. It has to be economical in the use of productive resources, right? And then the third problem that every economy is facing is for whom to produce. We decided what to produce depends on demand pattern. How to produce depends on the methodology, what method you are taking up as a production technique, and then for whom should we produce the commodity. Now this question leads to the problem of distributing the total output of goods and services that are produced in an economy among its members, or how is the national product to be divided among different individuals and families. Obviously, goods and services would be acquired by those who can pay for them, that is, those who possess money. This is one part. Now, the problem therefore tantamounts to or leads to the problem of distribution of income among the income earners. That is, distribution of income will determine the distribution of goods and services. What do you mean by that? You mean to say that those who are working, they will earn income, and they only will be able to afford to purchase the commodity, right? So the various factors of production cooperate to produce goods and services during a year, right? Now national product generates national income, which is distributed among various productive resources in the form of various types of factor income such as wages, interest, rent and profit. Now, so what we can say that what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. These are three fundamental problems faced by all the economies. However, there are three central problems which are of vital importance to all the economies of the world. These three problems are: first is problem of fuller utilization of resources. We have to bear this in mind that the resources are scarce, we have to make a choice and they are used alternatively. So we are facing these problems are interrelated. This problem is coming up because we are having a shortage of resources. So what are we saying? The problem which now we are facing is the problem of fuller utilization of resources. This is the problem of employment and unemployment of resources, right? Whether the resources available are completely used or they are not completely used. That is, sufficient amount of resources are not available in an economy to produce all the commodities it requires. Therefore, it is not desirable to leave the resources idle or unemployed, right? Unemployment of resources implies that capacity to produce some goods goes waste, right? Suppose we have something and we are not using that entire thing to produce something. That means we are not able to produce the complete amount of good whatever we were doing, because we had not used the available resources that were there with us, right? For instance, if a worker is unemployed for some time, say he is not working for some hours in a day, he is not able to contribute to output during the period of unemployment. For as many hours he has not worked, he will not be contributing to the employment of the economy for those hours he has not worked, right? This is what you mean by unemployment of resources. Therefore, one of the problems which every economy would like to tackle is how to make full utilization of resources, or how to avert or avoid the situation of unemployment of resources. The next connected problem is problem of efficient use of resources. One is employment or unemployment. The second is, even though we are using all the resources, but whether we are using the resources efficiently or not. Now, this problem faced by every economy is to attain efficiency in the use of resources. Efficiency means, in a positive sense, efficiency means using the economy's resources in the most efficient way to satisfy people's wants and desires. Now, the economy is producing efficiently when it cannot produce more of one good without producing less of another good. That is, when we are not making compromises in the production of both the goods, then we are producing efficiently. So, resources are efficiently utilized if their allocation is such that they are able to produce the maximum output. That is what we said, that we are not producing less of one and more of the other. If we are producing less of one and more of the other, that means that we are compromising. If both the number are same, then that means then we can say that yes, we have come to the optimum capacity, right? So resources are efficiently utilized if their allocation is such that they are able to produce the maximum output. Then resources are inefficiently utilized if reallocation of these resources leads to more production. That is how we can make out, right? That is how we can make out that whether the resources are used efficiently or not. If redistribution leads to more output, that means earlier the resources were not used efficiently. Understood? For example, if masons are doing the work of a carpenter, right, and the carpenters are doing the job of masons, the output produced will not be maximized, definitely, because they are not doing their work. In this case, we can increase the output by reallocating both masons and carpenters their assignment. Efficient utilization of resources represents the ideal situation which every economy would like to attain. And then third thing is problem of economic growth. The problem of economic growth is the problem of increasing the capacity of an economy to produce goods and services over the years. Now we have already studied the definitions, and we had studied the growth definition, where we said that the scarcity is not a fact of life because the resources, they grow over time, right? So if the resources are growing, that means the capacity to produce goods and services will also increase, and the economy, that will ultimately lead to growth of the economy. So this is a problem. That this problem of economic growth is the problem of increasing the capacity of an economy to produce goods and services over the years. An increase in productive capacity of the economy will lead to an increased availability of goods and services so as to provide a higher standard of living. This will lead to a better standard of living. Therefore, every economy wants to increase its production capacity so as to increase national income. I hope you understand the cycle. And per capita income. So economic growth is traditionally measured by per capita income. Now first three problems, that is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce, they are concerned with allocation of resources. Then the problem of fuller utilization of resources and efficient utilization of resources relates to utilization of resources. And the problem of economic growth relates to growth of the resources. So this is how we can categorize the various problems that every economy of the world is facing.